Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening for everyone joining us from all over the world. Thank you so much. This is day 4. I don't know how to count anymore from Font Fashion Week. This is the second presentation of the day. We are very, very excited about this one. We have 3 wonderful speakers with us today. We have Cosimo, we have Dario, and we have Raquel, who are going to be sharing with us this wonderful collaboration that they had together while working on the custom typeface for Yamamay. And I will not say more than that. I leave it up to them, but I will come back when it's time for the Q&A to take your questions. And just a quick reminder for everyone in the audience, if you'd like to ask a question, please put it in the Q&A, but feel free to use the reactions and to post nice things in the chat whenever something wonderful shows up on screen. So I will come back in like maybe 15, 20 minutes or so. And okay, please, thank you and welcome.
Okay, thank you everybody. Here is, I'm now going to share my screen and hopefully start. So yeah, I hope that, well, thank you everybody who took the time to join us at this presentation, and thank you to ILT and to Nadine for hosting us. Today's presentation will be made by me, Cosimo Lorenzo Pancini, one of the founders and type designers at Zetafonts Font Foundry in Italy, Florence, and Dario Mazzarella, who's the graphic design department manager of Yamamay, and he will be accompanied by Raquel. And so I'm mostly going to speak just for easiness, but yeah, Dario, feel free to stop me anytime I speak too much, and yeah, add anything. So, hello, I would like first to introduce ourselves as a foundry. The foundry is called Zetafonts, is in Florence. This is Santa Croce Square, 50 meters from here, and this is our team in that square. So we are very linked to the traditional beauty of the Renaissance city of Florence. And we have been proudly breeding quick brown foxes since 2001. It's more than 20 years that we are in type design. And in these 20 years, we have produced mostly display typeface. I believe we came from branding and graphic design, so we have a love for extremely fun and display-oriented typeface. But this didn't stop us from creating also more text or, you know, really typeface for every use. And naturally, we are really linked to our Italian roots. So we know that, you know, this vision of the Italian craftsmanship. And even we do typeface, we are not really artisans. We don't really do typefaces with our hands, like in this photo, but still we like to do calligraphy, and we have a big link to the education world. So this is very important for us. And this is what led us to meet the people at Yamamay. So Yamamay, I'm going to introduce a little bit the brand. So Yamamay is quite a young brand because only 20 years old, but it did get an incredible amount of results. It is today the Italian leader in the production and distribution of underwear, lingerie, sleepwear, and beachwear products. And in these 20 years, it has opened stores in 42 countries in the world, more than 600 monobrand stores worldwide, with 845 employees worldwide. And this is the last campaign. So, and I remember I spoke with Dario mi avevi detto del tema.
Buongiorno a tutti, questa campagna che avete avuto modo di vedere è la campagna con la quale Yamamay ha esordito questo nuovo anno nel 2022.
So this is the first campaign we launched this year of 2022 with a brand fresh new image from our Everybody collection, which is basically all the basic lines from Yamamay.
Come diceva Cosimo, Yamamay nel 2021 ha compiuto 20 anni e in tutti questi anni ha sempre cercato di celebrare la bellezza femminile attraverso testimonial iconiche o testimonial famose.
In all these 20 years, it's been a key feature to always accentuate feminine natural beauty, and that's the key message that Yamamay gives off to all its consumers.
In questo caso specifico, invece, come avrete avuto modo di vedere, le modelle scelte, la scelta delle modelle è ricaduta su donne comuni, su donne, possiamo dire, normali.
Of course, the majority of the campaigns focus on women and feminine beauty. And as you can see from the campaign video, it's all ranges of women, all ages, all types, all body sizes, hence everybody.
La motivazione appunto di questa scelta sta proprio nel fatto che Yamamay ha voluto esprimere in maniera forte e decisa il concetto di trasversalità e di inclusività.
Yeah, this year particularly, Yamamay has looked to push inclusivity and diversity in all its characters and models. Hence, you'll see the diversity in the campaign, different sizes, women who are pregnant, really embracing all body shapes and sizes.
Quindi con una serie di prodotti che potessero soddisfare le esigenze di tutti i giorni, di tutte le fisicità e soprattutto un linguaggio universale proprio trasversale fra tutte le generazioni.
Yeah, so comfort and everyday wear is the key to what Yamamay wants to deliver to all its consumers, and it's the most important thing is feeling good in your own skin for everybody of every age.
And this project with this spirit started almost 1 year ago now, when Yamamay contacted the European Design Institute in Florence to create a pool of young creatives to work on their restyling of the brand image. And we were part of that group as mentors. And that the original 20 years old logo, you already see the geometric sans nature, and their restyling is really very subtle. This was the result after a long process that was actually made together with these young designers, and the final design is credited to Sei Flores. And this is the moment that Yamamay came to us with the idea, okay, we have this idea, we like this direction, and we would like to make this a very important visual asset for our brand and to transform this into a typeface. So we worked a little bit, and this was the first concept for this transition. And this already shows, the typeface work we did, and naturally bring us to the eternal question, to what has been a very common question in these 4 days of the Typographic Fashion Week here at the ELT. That is basically why another sans serif typeface design, and this is a question so felt that even Yamamay models wonder about this issue, So this is what happens in the fashion world in the last year. There is this phenomenon, it's called blending, where, the brands look for a more essential, more simple. It can be said, is it bland? Is it less identitary? But why this happens? And we were asking, is this a fad, or this need for minimalism related to functional or communication needs? And, we got near to the answer by speaking with Bill Gardner, who's the founder of Logo Lounge. And he was actually the inventor of the word blending. And he said that this is actually a way of evolving for brands to detach their personality from the logo, because they want their personality to come through more through the shared aesthetics of the product line. And in a way, it's a transformation in the original concept of the logo as being, you know, the mark that gives the whole identity. And naturally, there's another eternal question is why these geometric shapes are so right for the fashion world. And I believe this is something that, you know, it makes sense for us to speak, because many projects that we have seen, our is the one that is more related to really to fashion and on the project that have been presented in these days. And we believe that there's a certain moment in which the geometrical shapes also express a desire for some timeless, powerful elegance, which is not antithetical to the human. And in reality, the work of fashion is always working with geometry and with shapes over the natural curves of the body. And in a way, I believe that us as Italian can't avoid going back to this idea of the body and the geometric shapes being so related. And it's not randomly that you speak of the leg, of the typeface, of the arms of a letter. And so when we had this, we said, okay, we want a challenge and we want to speak this language, but not as a cold language, but as a language that has been related to something more, you know, more warm, about also this sort of slightly vintage feeling of the of type. We had this typeface that is a project that's called Coco. The names come from icon fashion designer Coco Chanel. And we had developed this typeface lately in Coco Sharp, which is a typeface really thought for fashion. And one special thing about Coco Sharp is that it's very versatile in having this wide range of X8s. And so this was like the framework on which we started to work with the Yamamay to create Yamamay Sans. We started from this because we felt this proportion that were halfway between you know, the standard geometric and the more relaxed humanist proportion. You can see even in the S here that we are not following the cold proportions of Futura. And so there started a long work of detailing, cleaning the shapes, and then transforming this simple letter into something that could become a signature letter. And this was the most important and very small intervention of the typeface, is making the Y, our uppercase Y follow the design of the lowercase y. And so when you write things about your body, your passion, your strengths, your secrets, you are writing with the tone of voice of Yamamay. And this was, you know, an important part for us of creating a small identity, a small touch of difference. And another thing I would also like to speak, I think it was really great to work with Dario as a client, because he could show us that there were many needs for this typeface. So maybe there was an invite that had to be a very elegant, very thin, and then there had to be an advertising campaign where the typography should be more expressive and warm. And we played with this idea of making the font transition between humanist and geometric design by transforming from a very much geometric skeleton in the thin weights to a more humanist, warm, and condensed weight in the heavy weights. And this makes, you know, the whole space of the typeface being very fluid and makes, I think, a really interesting range of tone of voice for this typeface that can change tone of voice just by going from a more, you know, down to earth tone to a very exclusive and fashion related tone. And naturally, the tone of voice was important also in the theme of inclusivity. We are speaking about a brand who has a worldwide activity, so the script coverage was very important. We were lucky to have had the chance to include in the Coco family a lot of languages, and we could, keep this strong usability. And also it was very interesting to answer the need from Dario of a functional icon system that allowed us to include in the typeface a perfectly sized and balanced icon system. And this is something that I believe is also interesting, the way that you are creating a typeface as a tool for the brand to have a very clear tone of voice. So I have some examples here of the typeface in use, and this is the website. Naturally, the readability on the web was a very important problem for us. So we had to have this work on Yamamay website. And at the same time, we also had the same letters work in the windows, in the big size posters, and everywhere in the store, from price tags to product line to small advertisement. And this is just new now. Everybody is in Dario's hand, and we are really proud of this project because it started with a very honest assumption. I believe the campaign that was shown by Yamamay had this very natural and spirit. So we tried to have this functional but still elegant voice that could accommodate all the possible voices for the brand. And so this is the project. I don't know if Dario wants to add something.
Vabbè, Cosimo, hai praticamente riassunto benissimo il tutto. Diciamo che l'obiettivo che l'azienda si era prefissato è stato raggiunto.
So nothing much else to add. You summed it up pretty perfectly. Just that the company is super pleased to have done this and collaborated and made this revolutionary piece of work.
L'obiettivo era appunto quello di un linguaggio che potesse, comunque di una fonte che potesse rendere il modo di comunicare Yamamay su tutti i media in modo universale, in modo univoco.
The objective of this project was to launch a new logo that was universal for all, easy to read and understand, and embodies the true essence of the Yamamay brand.
E non a caso, appunto, la campagna che abbiamo visto prima è stata la prima campagna a presentare il nuovo logo e la nuova font, proprio sposando perfettamente quello che era lo spirito della campagna, quindi rimarcando anche in modo ancora più forte l'universalità e l'inclusività.
It's been a truly special campaign because it's the first one where we've all worked together to launch something completely new and different, and a new year and a new spirit of femininity and beauty that has always been encapsulated by the brand.
Allora, grazie, thank you, grazie a Dario, and thank you for everybody who shared this presentation with us. I'm going now to stop sharing and be back.
Grazie a tutti.
Thank you very much.
No, tutti, sorry. I only know 2 words or 3 maximum. So thank you so much. This is really fascinating. And what I love about the project is the ability to bring warmth across different ways. And because normally, like when we talk about hybrids between styles, we're talking like you take the approach, you make the hybrid, and then you keep the hybrid across the weights most of the times, right? That will be the traditional approach of doing things. But in this case, when you go more humanist in the bolder weights, and it's quite an interesting take on how to bring that human warmth into what is currently the more fashionable and neutral geometric sans serif. So that's a really nice way. And what I really love about all these different presentations we are having this week is that people are bringing different approaches as to how to expand our design space. How do we take our existing models in type design and just breaking through and mixing and matching and expanding, which is quite nice. So that's really great to see. Thank you so much. And also like something that occurred to me, so Dominic was saying that he loves the body positivity that the brand with Yamamay is embracing. And I was thinking we should bring that idea into type design as well, that we are body positive when it comes to type design. We love all the styles.
Yeah.
that we will love all of them equally. Excellent, amazing. So we have a question from Dominic asking, and then another question in Italian, which I will not dare to read, but it starts with molto interessante, soprattutto. But first with Dominic, where did the decision to base the font on Coco Sharp come from?
The funny thing that Coco Sharp really came out of a client request actually in 2012, you know, for a festival to have a typeface dedicated to fashion. So the question was, make a typeface about fashion. And we had these two things in mind. One was, you know, an extra thin Helvetica, when sometimes you use in some fashion brand only the thin weight, but with this, and the other was, you know, the traditional geometric sounds. So we played with mixing the two, and we also had this idea of when you saw the vintage fashion things from the 2030s, they were geometric, but they also were really warm, maybe because on printing the corners get really smudged a little bit.
Yes.
And, you know, sometimes there was a time when people did the design with a compass and straight rulers, but then they bended things a little to make them. And so this project is called Coco Gothic, and it was a really, people liked it. I mean, it was used a lot in fashion and also outside. So some years ago we said, okay, maybe we should try to have a version without the rounded corners, because now they also feels a little bit dated. And you know, we actually love to try to stretch the design space. So what happens if you play with a typeface and you make a variable X8, you know? And in the case of Yamamay Sense, the idea was exactly what happens if you make it become more humanistic in the bold weights and more geometric in the thin weights. It may be wrong. I mean, I can understand that this is an interesting question for us, and we really enjoy, I've seen we remember you spoken about that too, and I always like to quote this thing that you said, the design
the rubber band,
like a rubber band. So if you stretch too much, it explodes. And so here in the studio we are, stretching and see what happens. That's the point. So you know, this changed a little bit of also what is the typeface. You know, maybe we are used, maybe Helvetica is, you know, Helvetica regular. But Yamamay is the whole range for me, and now typefaces are something more complex than this. And I like typeface that pairs with themselves inside the family, you know, with creating even contrast. And that was interesting. I mean, I remember Dario was asking me, you know, maybe for the advertisement we need more expressive typeface, like a cursive. And we were trying to say, okay, maybe we can give you a bolder way so that you can use without needing to change typeface, rather than a set of typeface. And that was the idea. I don't know if we got there, but that was mostly the idea.
No, it's good to, it's really good to see. We do have, actually we're running out of time, but maybe we take 1 minute because then I have to go to the next presentation. For the, can you see the chat? Because I mean, I could try to read it, but I will massacre the language. It's in the chat. Okay, I'm gonna try, so don't judge me. Yes, the molto interessante soprattutto dal punto di vista di una studentessa di graphic design, grazie mille. And then il fatto che sì, oh, I don't know how to read the rest.
I mean,
she's variabilità.
She's actually, referring to what I was speaking about. I mean, it's weird. You don't see these changing the tone of voice during the range, you know, that for me, this is interesting. And I believe this is something that we see, and the experience of Yamamay as a brand is working in a world that changes continuously. His idea of gender, his idea of what is the tone of voice, what is the world around us. And you explained that in the first talk. So for us, you know, maybe now we can have typefaces that change their spirit during the range. Why not? Why should, you know, a typeface be fixed in stone? And
absolutely.
It's an idea we like. We have done some experiments with that, and the co-designers here, sometimes they agree, sometimes they are complaining because it makes every project crazy.
But you know, the thing is that when we as type designers take the approach that every project is an experiment, and sometimes we experiment, sometimes we fail, but in the failure there is a lesson. Not that we have failed here, well, not with you, but no, I'm not saying that. But if every project is is an opportunity for learning, then yeah, we push and we expand, and then in that there is the learning process. And this is what is nice, that you are not taking something as set in stone, as you say, and you just, this is how people do it, therefore this is how we do it. And this is really great part that we'll get to see. And the tone of voice is really quite nice when you see with the uppercase Y that looks like the structure of a lowercase y. You feel the tone of voice change, you know, with that one, because it's suddenly, it's not being monumental, it's speaking to you as a person, you know, that's the minuscule. So really great.
Game we tried. So
yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. It's been wonderful having you. Grazie mille. And I will see you in Florence at some point.
Yeah, feel free to. Everybody was listening, feel free to come and
yes, now we have
beautiful typography around here. So.
Yes, no, I want to come to Italy at some point, and so I will need to do a tour. But yeah, excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you for the participants. Thank you to Dario, to Raquel, to Cosimo. And yeah, grazie mille, and see you soon. Okay, bye-bye.
Grazie a te.
Ciao.
Grazie Dario. Grazie.
Ciao Cosimo, ci vediamo a Firenze, dai.
Certo, anche voi. Ciao, grazie.
Ciao.